I can do this and make a fuss of you at the same time, okay? Seeing as you've nudged me. Good here, isn't it? Hello, and welcome to episode 596 of Prog Review. And today, it's not out yet. Sorry, that dog. It's not out yet. But you can watch it on YouTube or on iPlayer if you've got BBC iPlayer, or you can even go to a website, which I might link to, as well as other links. For I'm speaking about Dave Grohl's Play. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the work of Dave Grohl. He's been in a few smaller bands, Nirvana, Foo Fighters. You've probably never heard of them, but he's done this new thing. It dropped on Friday. Was it Friday? I can't remember how many days ago it wasn't. It wasn't Friday. It was Thursday. Feels like it should have been Friday. But anyway, it dropped recently. Time's irrelevant, Darren, because you're talking to the internet, and they could be watching this in the far, far future when we've been enslaved by a robot YouTube Google masters. And this will be propaganda to keep you calm and not to rebel. Remember, don't rebel against our Google YouTube masters, for they love us. They won't delete my channel now. Should be good for the next 1,000 years. Anyway, Dave Grohl, he's a musician. You may or may not have heard of him, but he did this thing called Play. What is it, Darren? Well, it's kind of a celebration of being a musician more than anything else, and I think it's probably one of the progressive things I've seen recently. Well, in the last 10 years anyway. I think it's really important, and I know there have been many of you that are hitting the thumbs down button, probably using your heads. You're frantically. I'm stroking a dog whilst I'm doing this. I'm multitasking. You bet you can't do this. I bet you can't. It's like was it rubbing your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time, isn't it? But I'm talking and stroking a dog. She's down here. Because she's hassling me. That's the relationship we have now. Yeah. But yeah, Dave Grohl, he's done this thing called Play. It's 23 minutes long. Automatically progressive. It's 23 minutes long. But not only is it 23 minutes long, he plays all the instruments on it. Oh, you're thinking, oh, studio trickery. You know, he's like Mike Oldfield. Dog's having a scratch. Sound effects. It's like the Archers in here. All we need is a cow mooing. Can you moo like a cow? You can wake your tail though, can't you? Yes, you can. Oh, I've got to show you this wibbly wobbly webcam. Look at that. Look at that face. Look. Oh, now she's got shy. She's going to run underneath the table now. So shall I do the rest of the review like this? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh, she's come out. There she is. Look. She's by the door. Hannah. Hello. Well, that should get me some views. Everybody likes the dog more than they like me. Now that's completely bollocksed up. Am I allowed to say bollocks on YouTube? Oh, for fuck's sake. Am I allowed to say that? I'll bleep all this out. Oh, God damn it. Why did you move the sodding camera, you idiot? Now I've got to do the rest of the video. This is why I don't use the wibbly wobbly webcam. That's it. I've got it. Have I got it? Oh, shit. Fuck, shit, bollocks. Wait a minute. I think the cable's caught on something. But now I look like I'm a dwarf. Wait a minute. I can solve this. I can raise my chair up. Arch your back, Darren. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, Dave Grohl, right? He's in Nirvana and the Foo Fighters, and he's done this thing that's 23 minutes long called Play. wow, that automatically makes it progressive. But more than that, he plays all the instruments. What, like Mike Oldfield? Yeah, but not like Mike Oldfield, because whereas Mike Oldfield could drop in and drop out using studio technology like you do, like I do, but also like what I do, Grohl records everything in a single pass. He's got 7, Darren holds up 5, 7 instruments, drums, bass, 3 guitars, percussion and a keyboard synthesizer doodad. And he multi-tracks all this, but in real time. 23 minutes each pass, 23 minutes, bam, 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 bam. And you know he does this because he's filmed the whole fucking lot of it. Film crew in there, in his face. So every time he makes a mistake, he has to start again, from scratch, bam, right back to the beginning. Yeah? I've seen him do interviews and he said it's happened, it happens. Mainly on the piano bits because he's not a pianist. He fudged it, had to go start back at the beginning again. And that's it. That's all I need to say. Now, if you aren't scrambling to watch this video, then, you really ought to check yourself out. Okay, the music itself, it's limited to his own ability. He's not I wouldn't say he's a multi-instrumentalist, extraordinaire. He's a good drummer, obviously, good guitar player, good bassist. What are you groaning for? And so the music sounds very much like what you'd hear in the Foo Fighters, but extended somewhat. Some bits sounded like Monkey Wrench. I'm sure he used the riff off of that. And yeah, it moves at one level. There are some nice interludes, there are some nice bits, but probably the most limitation is he's not a soloist. There aren't any great solos to lift the music up. That's what I thought. That's where I felt like there was an empty bit in the middle of this. Is it needed, some solos, something to just elevate the music. But apart from that, it moves along at a real cracking pace. I love the guy's enthusiasm because it really is. It's almost a love letter. It's a love song to music itself. And he explains in the accompanying. There's a small documentary to begin with, where he explains how, to be a musician, and he articulates it beautifully. If you ever get involved in music, you're always looking for the next thing, or as I call it, the new sound. Do check out Mighty Boosh New Sound. Very funny. I was saying that before they were doing the sketch. I used to say it to the missus, I'm looking for the new sound. I think it's everything that musicians say that. Not that I'm a musician, I just pretend. But yeah, Grohl articulates what it's like, because once you start, you want to push yourself further. You want to try and do something a bit different, or you go in this area, or there's a new instrument, there's something else to bang, there's a new thing. There's I've got this. How can I incorporate this into my music? Got that for Herb. And so he articulates the passion and the interest because it never dies in you. You're always like, let's do something different. And he said going into the room full of instruments, it's like being in a candy store. And I don't get jealous of people, but when I saw him doing this, I was like, oh, I'd love to have a go at that. Real drum kit. And that's what it's like. It's a real passion for music, and I have a deep admiration for Dave Grohl for doing this. And when he talks about music and talks about the Foo Fighters, and one of the nice guys. And even though you might not be into them or into him, do check it out. If you like anything progressive, do check it out, because this is one man on his own setting himself a challenge and pulling it off. The only thing I can say is he copied me a bit, because a lot of my videos, when I do the music videos, they're done in one take. You'll see me, filming myself doing stuff in one go and overlaying it, like the bass thing or whatnot. That's what I do to keep my music sounding live, to have a feel, because I don't like doing too much editing or too much dropping in. If I can, I keep it as one take, first take as possible, because that way there's an urgency to it, and there's a you know, like I say, liveness to it, and that's what you get from this. It storms along. It's probably the quickest 23 minutes I've experienced. I've watched it about 3 or 4 times now. I'm hypnotised by it. You know, I just think it's really cool. You know, and there's not much that comes along these days that makes me go, that's cool. That's really cool. And there's also a website, again, which I'll link to, where you can actually look at each separate camera. So it kind of, whereas you've got like the master mix of all the instruments and them cutting towards it, there's like, it's like, remember the DVDs we had multi-angle? It's like that. And you can watch him do his separate pieces. And I think he may have even, there might even be tabs that you can follow and whatnot, like musical scores. I haven't really checked out the website properly. I just looked at the switching over of the various camera angles. But yeah, I just thought, right, I thought it was really, really cool. And I think it's really progressive. More progressive than anything put out by bloody K-Scope or Inside Out or any of these people. You know, Stephen Wilson, go and watch Dave Grohl's doing. He's doing it better than you, mate. And it's exciting and interesting. And I think, you know, massive respect to this project. I know a lot of people in the comments go, no. Yeah, he needed a mellotron in there. He needed a mellotron. But I just think it's damn cool, and it shows you the discipline that you need to be a musician and the passion you need to, you know, bring this project together. And again, it's there to promote. He's also said he's done it to promote music to kids, so they can see this, and you know, it can be something that they can, you know, take on board and aspire to, you know, breaking it down so you can see what the guitars do, what the drums do, how it's all mixed together. And I like that. I like anyone who likes to let you peer behind the curtain. I mean, I think that's great. There should be no mystery music. I've tried to do it in my videos and whatnot, and I think that, you know, I think it's really cool. And so this is why it gets a solid 5 plays out of 5. And this gets an award. This is a new category. I'm going to give it a new. It gets 5 platinum plays out of 5 because it's just unique and different. And he's probably never going to do anything like this again. And I just think it's really cool. And that's it. And music should be cool and interesting and exciting and fascinating. And like I say, there'll be a lot of you that will be totally disagreeing with me, but guess what? I don't fucking care. That's it. And that's all I've got to say. And if you're watching this, I'll produce your next record for free. Alright? And with that, there's only one more thing left to say, bar than checking the social media, click the links, engagement, comment, all that YouTube bollocks. And it is. But most importantly, the real important thing to remember and to say is prog on. And prog on, Dave.